Hello Internet, it is finally here! Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is live! After months of waiting and speculation, Konami released it this morning with very little fanfare. We didn't know that it was coming, we didn't know this was going to be the release date, we all just woke up this morning and the world was a better place. I spent some time getting to know this game already, and I'm going to be sharing that here with you today. So if you're looking to get started in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, this is the video for you. Now, when you first start playing, the game is going to take you through a tutorial of how to play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. And for those of you who have been following this game since the original Duel Monsters anime, it's a little bit redundant. It's going to be a bit of a slog to get through, but it's fairly short. At the end of that tutorial, you're going to be given an option of 3 deck profiles to choose from. There's a Fusion Dragon deck, there's a Synchro deck, and there's a Link Summoning deck. And it doesn't really matter which one you choose. These are just going to be some of the first cards that the game gives you to get started. You'll very quickly replace them, but it's a nice option to have so you can sort of decide which style you want to start out playing with. Whatever you're most comfortable with or the mechanic that you're already most familiar with is the one that you should probably pick. I chose the Dragon Fusion deck because I like the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I love that he is here on the homepage. Eat your heart out, Dark Magician. I'm glad to see the Blue Eyes White Dragon getting that respect. But once you've finished the tutorial and the game finishes installing all of its extra assets, which it will do after the tutorial, you will end up on this home screen. And it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but there are a few different rooms to go through. There's the Duel room, where you can play in ranked PvP matches, or you can play on unranked free duels. Ranked PvP is where you're going to be matched up competitively. You will start to accumulate a score and a standing in the leaderboards over time, and there are rewards for playing in this ranked PvP zone. Eventually those rewards will grow, and I'm assuming that you'll be getting special cards, in-game currency, things like that over time. I haven't really explored ranked PvP yet. I am not a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Player by any stretch of the imagination. I just love playing this game for fun, so I'll probably spend most of my time in Free Duel, which is unranked. You're not keeping track of a score. This is where you can play with your friends, that kind of thing. It's probably where I will be playing with some of you at some point if you guys ever want to play against me. Spoiler alert, you'll probably win. I am not the best by any stretch of the imagination. And then there's the deck page, which is exactly what it sounds like. This is where you're going to construct your own personal deck profiles. So go ahead and create a new one. And I don't love this window. It's sort of similar to the ones that you might have seen in previous Yu-Gi-Oh! Simulators, but the one thing that I don't like is the game puts a lot of time into showing you cards that you don't have. Like all these sort of darked out cards are cards that I haven't obtained yet. And if I come over and toggle this off, now I can only see the cards that I do have unlocked. I would recommend toggling this on. By default, it's toggled off. I would recommend toggling this on and keeping it that way because you can actually add cards that you don't have into your deck. And then if you try to save the deck, the game will just give you this notification that, oh, you can't use this because it has cards that you don't have. Why the game lets you add cards that you don't have into your deck profile, I don't know. I don't particularly care for that. It's actually really easy if you double click or you extra click on a card that you do have and you try to add more copies than you have. So for example, if I come over to the cards I have and I'm like, I have 1 copy of Gaia Saber, but I can still add 3, and by accident, I might not notice that and try to save, and the game will be like, you can't do that, you don't have enough copies. I've done that a few times. It's not that hard to go back and fix, but in general, I wish that they didn't include cards that you can't select in your builder profile ability. Maybe other people like it that way. Maybe people want it to just build their own profiles. I think there are better resources out there for that than this game, but that's just me. But this is where you will construct your deck profile. You can filter by your various card types and attributes and things like that, which is nice. You can choose which way you want to sort your cards, whether you want it by when you got them or how rare they are or their level or their attack. I wish you could actually sort them by card type. I wish that you could say, you know, show me all the Synchros and then all the Xyz monsters and then all the Link monsters, or, you know, categorize it that way. That would seem to be a really obvious method of doing it for me, but That is not currently in the game. However, like I said, you can go in and just say like, I only want to look at my Xyz monsters, and then there they are. So it's not too difficult to work out. I'm basically nitpicking this. This page is also where you're going to do things like crafting. You can dismantle cards in order to get crafting points in order to create newer cards, or to level up existing cards into higher rarities. And I'm not going to go over that right now because that's a whole tutorial unto itself, but just know this is where you would do that when you start doing that. The other useful tool to use on this page is this how to obtain button. So this is the one place where I guess it is useful if you are looking at cards that you don't have. You can click how to obtain. But yeah, so let's say I didn't have Gaia Saber. I could click this and I'd see that Gaia Saber is available in these packs. I can get him from the solo mode tutorial, which is where I actually got him, and I can get him from the legacy pack. And we're going to be going over what these packs mean in just a minute. But that's also a very useful tool to be aware of. That can help you find specific cards that you're looking for, if you want to find your favorite cards in the game. And next we have the solo tab. And this is sort of like Master Duel's story mode. These are different, I don't want to call them scenarios because it's not like you're moving through a specific story, but these are different missions that you can go on that involve specific archetypes. So for example, over here we have the Absolute Monarch, where you can play against and obtain Monarch cards in order to build your own deck. So each one of these icons here represents a mission. And you can see I've completed some of them, and these two I've only cleared them. I haven't completed them yet. In order to complete a mission, you have to clear both parts of it. The first part is the loner part of the mission, and this is where you're dueling against an AI opponent who's using whatever the kind of card in the story is. So in this example, Monarch cards. The AI is using Monarch cards, and the game actually gives you a loner deck that is also full of the Monarchs, and sometimes includes various members of the Monarch family and things like that. That's the loner deck profile. You don't get to use your own. You just have to play against the game with the cards that the game gives you. You can also play with your own deck, which you can see I've already done here. I've got my deck right down here. I've just called it Spell Command Go. And it's the exact same enemy deck profile. No matter which of these two you're choosing, your enemy is going to have the same cards either way. But it's basically deciding whether you're going to use the computer's cards or your own cards. And you have to complete both in order to complete the mission. Or you have to clear both in order to complete the mission, I should say. Now, for completing these missions, you do get rewards. So for example, you can see if I absolutely clear the story, I'll get these 3 Monarch cards to add into my own deck profiles. And this is really nice because this is, let's be honest, this is a pay-to-win game. You can spend real-world money in order to buy the in-game currency in order to get more cards to add into your profile. But what Konami's done here is basically give players a way of obtaining some powerful cards just by playing through the story, just by playing through these missions. So if you don't want to spend money or you don't have money to spend on this game, you can still have a viable chance of playing by going through the story, by grinding your way through these missions in order to get the cards that they will give to you. It's not as nice as being able to have automatic access to everything, but I do think it's a nice touch. And some of these cards are actually pretty nice. However, these are the cards that everyone is going to have. These Monarch cards, these Warriors of the Six Element Lords cards, everyone's going to have those because they're free. You can just play to get them. So let's talk about what is in the shop. The shop is where you can buy new cards. You do that in a couple of different ways, predominantly by buying booster packs or structure decks, and we'll get into that in a little minute. And we'll get into that in just a minute. But in order to do that, you have to have gemstones, this game's in-game currency. This is like a lot of other mobile games or free-to-play games out there where it's like, yes, you can download the game for free and there's stuff you can do for free, but there's a currency that you can pay actual money for. You can see in this case, you can spend up to $80 in order to get a giant fat stack of gemstones. You can decide how worth it is to you. This game is obviously going to be a pay-to-win game. There are going to be people who put money into it. They will curate their own deck profiles the way that they have in real life. I've already curated a deck profile, or a giant stack of deck profiles in real life that I'm happy with. I'm probably not going to put an exorbitant amount of money into this game in order to recreate my collection digitally. I can use other duel simulators for that if I really wanted to. But there are going to be people who want to play this game competitively. Konami has said that this game will feature at actual competitive tournaments once they start happening in person again after the pandemic dies down. So if you intend to play this game competitively, yeah, maybe you're going to want to put some money into it, and that's fine. This is how you do that. But also, if you come back to the main menu, you can come up here and you can see this missions icon. And these are all missions that you can use in order to earn gemstones for the shop. These first two are daily login rewards. Then there are just random things that you can do. You can get some gems by just watching a live duel. You're not going to get a lot, but it's some as opposed to none. By doing things like this, you can get some gemstones just by activating spell and trap cards in ranked duels. Winning a ranked duel gets you some gems. All kinds of stuff. There are currently 25 active missions. These ones are the time-limited missions, but these unlimited missions are things that you can kind of do whenever. And sometimes they'll earn you gems, sometimes they'll earn you points that you can use for crafting. Again, we're going to go over that in a different video. But there are ways that you can earn gems without spending money if you want to earn new cards. And yeah, some of them might be a grind. Like I saw these ones and I was like, that's ridiculous. Special summon 3,000 times. That's gonna take, weeks or months or whatever. But, it's money. And you do get points along the way as sort of milestone markers. So take that for what it's worth. But yeah, obviously the fastest way to get new gemstones is going to be to just outright buy them, and that was kind of always Konami's plan. So let's go over that now. Booster packs work just like they do in the real world. You buy a booster pack, it contains a set of cards that are randomly drawn from a specific list of cards. Usually you get 8 cards per pack, though some of the secret and bonus packs, you get fewer. The Master Pack is like the most generic thing that you can choose. There are thousands of cards in this pack. Most of the cards that you probably want in the game are probably in here somewhere. The biggest ones that aren't going to be included are the ones that are based on timed events and special events and things like that, or are rewards for completing certain objectives in solo mode. But other than that, I think most of the rest of the cards that you're going to want to find in this game that aren't timed exclusives are in here. The problem with that is there are thousands of cards in here, and if you're looking for a specific one, it's going to be really hard to find that specific one. So for example, Stardust Dragon is one of my favorite cards. I love Yusei Fudo. I think the card is really cool. I want to play with Stardust Dragon. The odds of me going into a Master Pack and finding that specific card that I want, very low. But if I come over here to Revival of Legends, a pack that specializes in Blue Eyes, Junk, Stardust, and Code Talker monsters, basically Seto Kaiba, Yusei Fudo, and Playmaker cards, I have a much better chance of getting that specific card that I want, because there are far fewer cards in here. Problem with these is, as you can see, they're timed events. These two packs here, Revival of Legends and Stalwart Force, are time limited for the next 62 days. And I have a feeling that after those 62 days expire, these cards are going to be harder to get your hands on. Maybe you can still get some of them in the Master Packs, but the ease with which we can currently access Blue Eyes and Stardust and Talker monsters will be greatly decreased after this 62-day period is over. It's probably going to become much harder to get them. So the game is encouraging you to spend your gemstones on these card packs now. if you want these cards, if you want these specific cards, you have a limited window of time where it's easier to get them. Feels a little sleazy, but it's a business, I get it. Secret packs are packs that you discover while opening normal packs. So let's see if I can demonstrate this right now. Let's see if I can find my Stardust Dragon right now. And in order to do that, I'm actually going to buy 10 Revival of Legends packs right now. Yeah, let's go ahead and spend that money. And now I have these 10 packs, and we're going to open them one by one to see if we can demonstrate how the secret packs work. I also really like this animation and think it's cool. Okay, so nothing all that special right here. Ooh, but I am happy to have Whitestone of Legend and Kaiba Man. Those are cards that I like that are new. Okay, so next pack. Ooh, this looks good. This is promising. Okay, so you can see that there are rarer cards here because they are glowing and outlined. And if we open them up, it'll save those to the end. Ooh, Firewall Dragon. Oh, and you can see I got this key right here. This key icon is a secret booster pack. So once I have completed opening the remainder of these packs, I'm going to have access to a new type of pack that I can open. So let's keep on going, but I am very happy about Firewall Dragon. That's awesome. You saw it here, folks. I have it now. And I'm just going to speed through the rest of these so we're not all sitting here wasting our time. So once you've opened all of your packs, you can see what the new ones are. And I had actually already discovered the Azure in the Ivory card pack and the Scrap Iron Soldiers one. But this one here, Soldiers from the Storm, that's new for me. So once you finish reviewing what cards you just got, once you're, done freaking out over how cool that is, let's check out what the new pack is. So this is, this is an even better way of getting Code Talker specifically. So this is more specific than even the Revival of Legends pack was. And just so you can see where I am right now, this is the normal pack window. This is where we just bought all of our Revival of Legends packs. Secret packs show up here in this secondary window. And the way that they work after you've drawn them from a normal pack is you only have 24 hours to collect from them. Which sucks, because that's really a way that the game is pushing you to buy more gemstones so you can get what you want now. I really like Dark Magician cards, so Darkest Magics is one that I would probably put a few gemstones into here and there. But I only have 20 hours left to do it. I'm going to see what I can get in that short amount of time. Structure decks. Structure decks are exactly what they sound like. They're boxes of cards that work together that you can buy as they're available. Right now, there's a Magician of Pendulum and Recontract Universe. This is obviously an Arc 5 themed one, and this is a Zexal themed structure deck. And you can buy each structure deck up to 3 times. So if I want the Pendulum monsters, the Odd Eyes and Performapal monsters that come in Magician of the Pendulum, if I really want to spec out that kind of deck, I can buy 3 copies of this deck in order to be running 3 copies of all the cards that are in here in my main deck profile. This will cycle. This is going to be the sort of thing where they will add more structure decks over time, and this will probably be the easiest way to guarantee get usable cards at the same time. And if you just buy a bunch of the structure decks, you'll be able to pull from different ones in order to create a solid deck profile of your own. And you can come in and sort of see what you will get by doing this. Time Star Magician, basically the Magician, the Pendulum Magician Xyz monster, Beast Eyes and Rune Eyes Pendulum Dragons. Those were cards that Yu Yu Sakaki used in the Arc 5 anime. Things like that. And you can see what the card list is right here and decide, hey, does this look good? Is it worth spending the 500 crystal or gemstones just because you really like Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, or because you really like Enlightenment Paladin or whatever? For my part, I actually really am a fan of the Magician Pendulum archetype, so I was happy to buy this, and maybe I will do so a little bit more. But not right this second. Accessories. This is probably my least favorite part of the game because it's just, again, cash grabby. If you want, you can buy a mate. You can buy basically a mascot who will stand on your side of the duel arena in games and cheer you on. It doesn't add any gameplay mechanics to it. It's all purely cosmetic. You can decide how much that's worth to you. I will probably never purchase any of these, but you're welcome to. The Dark Magician does look kind of cool, although he looks a little bit like a child in this portrait, which I don't love. You can buy the various duel fields for when you're having private missions, which, again, I kind of wish those were just included or that you could grind to unlock those. I guess you can just grind to get the gemstones for it, but I wish this wasn't something you had to spend money on. I do like the volcano field, though. You play with it a lot in the Monarch story solo missions, and I do like it, but I don't know that I would necessarily spend gemstones to change what the playing field looks like. Maybe not. Same thing goes with card protectors. This is the same as you've seen it in other games. I actually like the generic card backings, but it's only 100 gemstones. It's not that much. If you want to change what your cards look like, that's fine. And then this will replace your icon on the main menu. So if you come back here, you can see I have this very generic red-hatted silhouette person or transparent person. You can replace that with the icons that you see here. And I wish there were more of these options, personally. This is something where I'm like, this does let people really customize their experience and, you know, put a little bit of their own character into the game, and this is far too limited as far as I'm concerned. But if you want these 4, here they are. I'm sure many, many more will emerge over time, and maybe you'll be able to get more through the events of like time-based events and stuff like that. And then for special stuff, the Duel Pass Gold. The Duel Pass is basically a way of achieving rewards as you play. Every player starts with just the basic Duel Pass, but you can upgrade to the gold version for the next 75 days for, I believe, 600 gemstones. I bought it just because I had those gemstones from playing the game normally. And this will allow you to unlock rewards as you go along. And you can see that these are the rewards that you get if you're a normal player. And these are the ones that you get if you have the gold pass. As you level up your character and continue to advance and accelerate. So this is basically incentivizing you to level up as quickly as possible so you can get these rewards. And you can see in the end stage, there are basically normal players will just stop getting rewards once they hit a certain level, whereas the gold tier players will continue to be rewarded for leveling up. So it's basically a way of incentivizing you to level up past level 50. I believe that gold players get both tiers, not just the gold tier, but I believe you get both the Upstart Goblin icon and the Shadow Doll construct artwork. So you can decide if it's worth it to you. It is basically one way of spending gemstones to get more gemstones in the long run if you level up quickly enough. So you decide how worth it that is to you. And then the last part of the shop was the bundles tab over here on specials. And this basically will give you a specific card or specific set of cards in addition to a series of packs. So if you really need Solemn Judgment, you can buy Solemn Judgment and 10 Master Packs. So it's basically the same as buying 10 Master Packs, but you also get an extra card. The nice thing about it, though, is 10 Master Packs normally costs you 1,000 gemstones. So the cool thing about this is that you can get the 10 packs at a little bit of a discount by only spending 750 gemstones, and you get a guaranteed card that you may really want. So if any of these cards are things that you're really looking for, or you just want a discount on master packs, this is a good way of doing that. That might be a way to spend your money a little bit more strategically. But yeah, that just about does it for the basics of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. All that's left is for you to go on out there and start dueling. It'll be interesting to see how the game develops in the next couple of days and weeks and months post-launch, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. Let me know in the comments whether or not you guys are enjoying it, and let me know if you want to see more tutorials like this over the next couple of weeks. Everybody stay safe and stay healthy, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!